Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. We're going to be reacting to Five Scary Stories animated. So, let's get right into it.
One evening, when I was a junior in high school, my mom and dad went out, leaving me home alone. I had a lot of homework to do, so I spent the whole evening sitting at my desk in my bedroom. My parents left the house around 6 p.m. While I was doing homework, I put my headphones on and listened to loud music. There was a storm
Shouldn't do that.
night, and my desk was facing the window.
You should at least have like one headphone or one of your ears uncovered. Because someone like creep up on you. You can't hear them coming if you have both ears covered. Speaking of which, I'm both earbuds in.
So I could see the rain and the lightning outside.
But I can see
My
everything.
parents came home around 11 p.m. When I saw their car drive up, I took off my headphones. As soon as my mom opened the front door and came inside, I heard her shout my name. "What on earth happened here?" she demanded in an angry voice. Confused, I ran downstairs. My mom was standing in the hallway.
The animation
with
is
a
very
furious look on her
interesting.
face. She pointed at the floor and yelled, "Was this you?" I looked down and saw the carpet was covered in muddy footprints. I have no idea how
That's
those got
exactly
there.
why.
I spent the whole night at my desk doing my homework. I watched as her face changed from anger to confusion and then to fear. We both realized at the same time someone must have been in the house. We followed the trail of footprints, trying to make
Hold on. You realize someone's in your house and you don't call the cops immediately? Are you stupid? Like, you realize someone's in your house and you don't call the cops immediately?
sense of the whole situation.
It's because they're
They
stupid.
started at the back door, which we usually leave unlocked. Then we noticed something else. The footprints started at the back door, but there is no trail of the footprints going back through that door.
Call the
All of
cops.
a sudden, we hear a loud, pounding noise that echoed throughout the house. Then the
Call
sound
the
of the front door
cops.
being wrenched open and slamming shut. We all ran into the garage and locked the door behind us. My mom took out her cell phone and called the police. "Please come quickly.
Now.
There's someone in our house." After what seemed like hours, a patrol car arrived with 2 police officers, a male and a female.
Well, did they leave the door unlocked, or did they just not? Did the intruder break in through a random place and just like break through a window or something in the back so they didn't see it? I don't
One of the officers stayed with us in the garage
I don't get this.
while his partner went through the house, searching it room by room. When she came back, the female officer told us that there was no one in the house and it was safe to go back in. As we were all breathing a sigh of relief, she asked, "Whose bedroom is upstairs on the left?" My parents looked at me. "It's mine," I told the officer. She asked me to follow her. As we walked through the house,
Oh no, it's
we
about
could
to
see the
get
trail of muddy
spooky.
footprints leading from the back door, through the living room, through the hallway and up the stairs, into my parents' bedroom, and towards my room. They stopped at my doorway. The female officer pointed at the door, which had been open the whole night. Scrawled on it in blue marker was the following: 8:47, I see you. 8:53, you forgot to lock your back door.
Oh, that's how he got in.
You seem focused. 9:27, turn around. 9:47, look at me. 10:15, look at me. 10:37, look at me.
That guy was there for
10:49,
a couple
look
hours.
at me. For more than 2 hours, someone had been standing in my doorway, watching me.
Exactly.
To this day, I still shudder to think of what would have happened if I would have turned around.
He just left because you weren't looking at him.
Note.
Alright, so before we get into the next one, please subscribe, like the video. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the summer. So, and if I get 100 subscribers before the end of the summer, I will buzz my hair. So, if you're liking the video, please do that. It shows me that you like content like this, and I'll continue to do it. So let's get into it.
This was during the day, and also I was a freaking cute kid.
That child is the
Imagine
scariest
big brown
thing
eyes,
here.
dark brown hair, pale face with a beauty spot, and a cheeky smile.
Nope.
Also, I was very outgoing towards other people, as stranger danger wasn't the style yet.
Well, I got a fly on
So
my
when I was
camera.
around 2 or 3, 29-year-old female here, my mom
That's
took
a
me to Myers
man.
in Penrith.
That's
We were
not
walking
a
around
woman.
and
That's a
looking at
man.
I was the type of kid to not really pay much attention to stuff that didn't interest me, so I kind of wandered off into the Lego section. When I was
Same,
done
though.
looking around, I noticed my mom was nowhere in sight. I started to get a little freaked out when I went up to hug my
Hold on,
mom.
is that Call of Duty music in the background?
The woman who turned around wasn't her. She was just wearing the same jumper.
Can you hear that? That
So,
sounds like Call of Duty
dumbass
music.
me walks through the aisles, and there's Mom. I ran up to her and threw my arms around her. Nope,
Wrong
that
person
woman in the same
again.
jumper again. I figured I'd look around the store for my mom, seeing as I was
Why do you
alone,
keep just
and by that
running up?
time a little scared. So I'm walking around, and I see these 2 old ladies walk up to me. They must be nanas, so they'll be nice.
Why is that woman's eyes facing 2 different directions? The woman on the right, her eyes are just like, oh, facing 2 different directions.
They ask me if I'm lost, and I start to get a little teary and tell them I can't find my mummy. They say they'll help me look, and
Mummy.
they give me a lifesaver lolly to cheer me up.
Mommy, I
So we
can't
start
find
walking
you.
around,
I'm
looking
scared.
for my mom, and by that time, I was holding each of their hands. They were walking on either side of me. We're walking close to the entrance of the store when I spot my mom. By this time, I told them about the woman in the jumper, so they tell me it's probably that woman again. But no, I was sure this time it was my mom, and she was at the service desk. Mom later tells me it's because she was asking them to call me on the PA, because she couldn't find me anywhere. So I start to
The
walk over
lightning
to
in the
her,
background
when they
makes
kind
this
of
so
maneuver
much
me
more
out of the
scary.
store and away from Mum. They kept telling me they'd help me find my mum and to just come with them. I managed to pull my hands free and leg it towards Mum. I was so happy to see her that I just start crying and hugging her. The ladies walk up to Mum and tell her they were trying to help find her, and Mum thanks them and they make a hasty exit. It was only later that
No.
afternoon when I was telling Mum what happened that
Hey,
it
Mom,
kind of
I
dawned
coulda
on me
gotten
that they didn't want
kidnapped.
me to go near Mum. I know it doesn't sound that scary, but still, 26 to 27 years later, I still feel that creepy feeling like I might not have made it home if I hadn't have wriggled and ran for all it was worth.
Ugh. Those grandma's smile so scary.
I was vacuuming my house at 9:30 p.m. with my music playing when I get a knock at my door. My boyfriend was at work and I wasn't expecting company, especially so late at night. I turned the
It's
music
like
down
2,
and
3
realized the
guys
door
that
was
run
not
this
locked.
channel.
Instantly, I'm terrified. I'm only 4'10", so I had to prop myself up the wall to look through the peephole
Bro,
and carefully
imagine not being able to reach the top of the refrigerator. That's crazy.
lock the door. More pounding. The man outside my door is no one I recognize.
He looks like a
He looks
zombie.
disgruntled, dirty, and quite frightening. He was short and stocky and looked angry. He grew frustrated, knowing I just turned down my music. He heard me lock the door and started calling out, "Ma'am." More knocking. "Excuse me, ma'am."
How does he know she's
How
a
the fuck
woman?
did he know I was a woman?
That's what I'm
I
asking.
look around the room and I see that my blinds are open, and I realize he
Oh.
must have been watching me vacuum. Thankfully, my neighbors right across from me opened their doors, and the husband asked, "Who are you, and what are you doing?" Startled, the creep fumbles and says, "Oh, good evening, sir. I was
Oh,
just going to
good
offer my carpet
evening,
cleaning
sir."
services to her." The husband goes,
This time
"That's
now?
great. She doesn't want it. You need to leave right now."
W
Creep left
stranger,
promptly.
dude.
Afterwards,
W
I called the
neighbor.
police, my boyfriend, and I closed my blinds and texted the
L
neighbors to thank them for
stranger.
scaring him away.
W neighbor.
I paid extra to live on the top floor, but it seems this creep was watching me from below.
How? If you have your blinds the right way, you shouldn't be able to be seen in on.
It was about 12:30 or 1 a.m., and I was driving home from the movie theater. My friends and I had just watched The Conjuring, which put my mind in a creepiness-fueled, hyper-aware state.
Dude, The Conjuring. Am I right? The Conjuring. I don't remember what that's about. Isn't that the nun that, like, has the big tongue and, like, licks people to death or something? I don't remember.
I was driving through the downtown in my not small, not big town. And downtown is kind of like an old, historical-looking
You mean like a medium town?
district.
Not big, not
Usually,
small.
there are very large crowds of people outside of this one downtown bar called The Grove, but it was raining and drizzling. Even though it was raining, it was a Saturday
Dude,
night.
I keep hearing that, like, OG Call of Duty Black Ops 2 music in the back of my head. They're playing in the background. I swear they're playing the original one. That's
And I live in a part of Florida where
I love
people
it.
learn not to care about light rain. So I was a little surprised to literally see no one.
Dude, it's Florida. You don't care about alligators. You're not gonna care about a little rain.
No one but this lone woman. I'm at a red light next to the Grove, and I see this lone woman standing at the edge of the intersection that I'm stopped at. She's not moving, she's just standing on the sidewalk to the right of me, staring about 45 degrees up into the sky, in the direction that I am currently headed at. I look at her as the light changes to green, and I
You
drive
look
past.
so traumatized already.
I drive slowly, almost hoping for her to look down and make eye contact, because the way she was staring upward was confusing and discomforting.
There's an alien up in the sky. Just look upwards. Can you see it?
She doesn't look down at me though. She just keeps staring upward, down the road.
Dude, she's like a guy in a gym trying not to seem like a creep. Especially if you're on one of those machines where there's like someone right in front of you, so you have to be like, the ceiling looks very ceiling today.
Road that I'm driving on. So I
This
pass her and
floor
just think
is
to
indeed a
myself,
floor.
that girl's freaking weird. Whatever.
You're the weirdo.
I hope
You're
she's
driving
okay to
slow
get
past
home.
a woman.
Or something like that. I had driven down the road several blocks, still thinking about how weird the girl was.
Probably drunk or something.
Then I see a man standing alone on the sidewalk to the left of the road that I'm on, almost perfectly mirroring the girl. The man is standing there, completely staring up in a 45-degree angle into the sky, but he's looking directly in the direction of the girl. At the very least, the two were 4 blocks away from each other.
It's the newest edition of the book 6 Feet Apart, but 4 blocks apart.
There's literally no way they could see each other, but they are both looking at the same exact direction of each other, just up into the sky.
They're combining their life
What were
force.
they looking at? Why were they alone? Why were they not moving? I still haven't guessed the reason to any of these. What did I drive under?
Hold on, is that it? Are you kidding me? That's seriously it?
My old house was pretty pumped up on security. We had a finger ID, passcodes on the door,
Dang.
cameras everywhere, an automatic security system that would call the police or play a fake.
Literally the last one was just, I saw 2 creepy people just staring up at the same place. Maybe they're staring at a store, my guy. It's not that scary. People just looking up in the sky on a dark night. Dude.
The cops have been called. Message. The story happened a few years back. My dad noticed a weird looking man, pretty covered up, lurking on the street just outside of our house. We thought nothing of it since sometimes you get an occasional drunk or high person wandering around your neighborhood.
Dude is built
But this
really
man started to
weird.
inch up closer to our home. First being on the opposite side of the street, then before we knew it, being basically on our property. We just sort of watched him.
You can
to
just
see
call
what
the
he would
cops
do.
and be like, oh, he's
I'm pretty sure we got bored and walked away.
stalking or something.
And just forgot. Then we started hearing strange noises coming from the downstairs.
Excuse-
where
You just forget a guy's just sitting outside of your house? You just forget the guy that's just sitting outside of your house just staring in at you? You're acting like it's a normal, like, Tuesday or something. Just, yeah, that happens every Friday. You know, Bob comes by. He just stares in our house. We're like, "Hey, Bob," and he's like, just staring at us. You know,
Where our front door was.
he's a good neighbor.
We decided to switch on the camera, and sure enough, this guy is banging on our door trying to get in, and then he looks through the window. He gave up, but then started to go around the side. There was a set of
Just
stairs
lock
that led into an
all
upper
the-
area where we were.
Just
He
lock
starts to
all
head
the
upstairs,
doors.
which sent my dad to go to the side of the house that the man was on with a knife and scream at him.
Just be like, "Get off my property, you goofy goober! Leave! I don't like
the guy
you."
runs, and we don't see him again.
Oh, see?
That's the end, right?
No,
Wrong.
I can tell. Yeah,
The guy comes back later.
there's 5 minutes more left in this video.
I guess he saw
1
the
minute.
car was gone from the driveway. My dad had gone to get something, leaving me and my mom.
Why? Why
We
at
didn't
this
want to confront the
time?
guy, so we had the idea of playing the fake cop alert that could be heard outside. So we played it, and as soon as the guy heard it, he ran. Never saw him again, and never went to. What makes this story creepier is on the news later, it showed a guy that had been lurking around houses and actually killed people, had just been
Oh.
arrested. It was the same man who was at our house.
It was the same man. Why is he built like that? Okay. Let's actually watch this one real quick before we end this. A 2 minute
So a bit
one.
of preface.
2:30
Me
minute
and my
one.
friend are home alone right
2
now and have been
minute
for a
and
few
30-second
hours.
one.
Every time my friend comes over, we go to the woods by my house.
Okay,
It's
but like
normally
that
on the-
last one, it could have been prevented by just walking outside and having a pump shotgun and just get off my property. Like, dude.
Eventful. We usually throw rocks and break trees and stuff.
Oh,
Harmless
don't hurt the
fun.
trees.
But this time,
What do you mean
something
homeless?
else
You're holding the trees.
happened.
What about
Like
the
I said,
trees'
we're home
feelings?
And we have been for a while. We went outside to the woods, and the trip was uneventful. But once we got there, something was off. Everything was dark, tons of trees had been knocked down. The entire place was not how I remembered it being.
You don't say.
We kept going in, still having our usual harmless fun. And at one point, my friend turned to me and said we should go back. I looked at my phone and
Dude,
decided
I saw a random guy out in the woods, man. I don't like this stuff, man.
it had only been 30 minutes, so we might as well stay a little longer.
Why?
Because it'll be a few hours until anyone would want us to be home. Our plan was to go further than we had ever been into the woods.
This
We
is why people die. This is why in horror movies the death count is so insanely high. They're just like, nah, it'll be fine. Let's keep going into the woods that is terrifying and there's a bunch of trees knocked down. Let's keep going.
It
Dude,
isn't very hard for us because I've barely been that deep. After walking for a while, we came to a landmark I knew marked the deepest that we've ever been. A while back, when I was going far in, I came to a bridge built on a log that fell over the river in the middle of the woods. However, one thing was different. There was something sitting on top of it. Whatever was on it was
Landmine.
small and resembled the head of an animal.
landmine.
When we got closer, we got a good view of it. It was a deer skull,
Oh.
pearly white and clean, sitting on the bridge with no clue as to who put it there and where the rest of it was.
Could have just been eaten.
Behind the
Flushed
river, there's a
down the
huge
river.
hill with a creepy small house on it.
It's that
And
guy.
while we were looking around, we heard
It's
a
Tom.
creak or some high-pitched noise from up towards it. Freaked out, we began to run. and
No,
from
that's just
behind-
Tom. He's playing in his CSGO shed. Y'all don't have a shed just out in the woods that you play CSGO on? Because you don't want anyone knowing that you play CSGO? Come on, man.
I hear my friend scream, and I hear him running behind me. We both keep running.
What
and
did
once
he
we
see?
reach the edge of the woods, we step onto the road. I asked him why he screamed, and he said he heard footsteps next to him. We quickly made our way home, and when we got here, the garage door was open. Not knowing if we left it open or not, we ran inside, locking the door, checking the house, and turning on the alarm. Now we're sitting here, and by the time I finish this, it's nearly 2 hours since, and I can't shake the fear of the eerie woods from me.
What does that have to do with anything? That weird deer monster thingy. Oh, no. No, thank you.
There are scammers everywhere.
No. Okay. So, gonna rate these shorts. Most of them were just, oh, some guy was outside my house, spooky, someone was staring up at the stores for whatever reason. The only really serious one was the one where the woman almost got kidnapped. That one's serious. The woman forced by a man. But that one was serious. That one actually has scary implications. I mean, if you're inside the house and then someone breaks in, that's a problem, but you got so many security measures. So, like, 5. No, not even 3. 3 out of 10. Bad. Poor. I don't like it. So, yeah. Pretty decent. What do you mean pretty decent? No, it was fun. It was a fun content. However, it's bad. So, if you like that video, please subscribe, like the content, and 100 subscribers. I shaved my head. Well, buzz cut, but yeah. And I will see all of you in the next video. Have a good day.